Good morning. Today is Christmas Eve and we are hosting, which means that we need to cook. We are getting stuff ready for the Christmas Eve party tonight and woke up early, have my son of a nutcracker shirt on, and I am getting ready to peel a bunch of potatoes and finish up with the ceviche and stuff like that I kind of started yesterday. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a montage and talk through some of the stuff that is already kind of done, and then we'll just kind of go on throughout the day today. But yeah, we're getting ready for Christmas Eve, so let's see how that goes.
This is basically going to be a tutorial. So for the ceviche, we need carrots, garlic, turnip, celery, red and green onion, green pepper, and cilantro with water. And a little bit of adobo, and just let it boil. And in order for the water, when it's boiled, not to go over the bowl, you put a spoon over it. You know it's ready when the turnip is squishy or the carrot is squishy. So you take all of that out. But as that's happening, Jacob's peeling the shrimp for the ceviche. And we're gonna cook it in the water that we took all of the veggies out of. So as you can see here, water's still boiling. You put them in there. I think it's about 3 to 5 minutes max. But you'll see that once you put the shrimp into the water, the color starts changing, so it's getting cooked. This water we're gonna need to cook the tomatoes for. So we wanna take the shrimp out, drop as much of the water that's on the shrimp into the same bowl, and then kind of just transfer the shrimp over. That way we can still use it for future purposes. We want to grab 1 cup of this water and set it aside and put it in the fridge. But with the rest of the water, we're putting in tomatoes. This, all you really had to do was just clean the tomatoes, put them in the boiling water, and wait for it to start cracking, if that makes sense, and then you can take the peels off as you take them out. So that's that bit. Now with the red onion, we had to slice it, and we're gonna have to put lemon in it. So as you can see here, they're the sliced onions with the lemon. This we're gonna use for the water, as you can see here, with the celery and the tomatoes. We blend that up together, but also save some aside for the ají that we're gonna be doing in the future. So this is kind of like a multi-use onion. With what we blended all together, we're putting that into this bowl, which we had the shrimp in, but I took them out, put them in a different bowl. This, we keep putting the tomatoes into the blender, but that other tomato is a tomate de árbol, and that's for the ají, which I'll be showing in a little bit, but right now we're focusing on the shrimp. So with that 1 cup I said to save earlier from that water, you blend it all together and you put that into the mixture of the onions with the other red stuff. You put a little bit of ketchup, if you have some mustard, a little bit of mustard, and orange juice. I don't think I showed the orange juice in here, but orange juice is in here as well. Now for the ají, it's 1 jalapeno, some of the onions, and blend the tomate de árbol, and that's basically it. Now for the llapingachos, peel the potato, cut the potatoes, and put it in the bowl. In here we have a celery stick and 4 little pieces of the butts of the green onion. You gotta mash the potatoes, and whilst you're doing that, midway, remember to add salt, and we add an egg. So with this, you want to start mashing as soon as possible, because the egg, if you leave it there for a while, it kind of could cook since the potato is hot. So have to remember to just start, putting it together. And then from there we add some achote, which is basically just another oil that gives it some flavor and color. So by adding that, you'll get the yellow consistency of what a llapingacho usually looks like. So this you kind of just mash the whole way through. Now we need to shred the cheese. So I'm just shredding queso de freír, because that has the best one for when you're frying it. Jake wanted Oaxaca cheese in it, so this is how you normally pack a Llapingacho, but this is like when you're doing, you know, small amount, or, you know, you have the time to nicely package and, you know, make them look cute little patties. So I did 2 for Jake with the Oaxaca cheese, and it came out really good, so would recommend that cheese as well. But when you have a big party, you're gonna want to do this kind of style, which is just adding the shredded cheese into the mix of the potato that you have, just mixing them together, mashing them up, and, you know, making the patties from there. So this is a slightly weird angle, but I was trying to count how many I had because we were about 11-12 people, so I was just making sure that we had enough potato to go around, and we definitely did. So here's the end. Now for the salsa de maní, which is the peanut butter sauce, I didn't want to cut with my knife, so I just cut it with the scissors. The celery or green onion, and you add some red onion, some achote for flavor, salt, and some regular oil. Turn that to like medium heat, and then also we added a bit of adobo, but kind of just like let that get a little golden. Like I said, we did add a little bit of adobo and a bit of ground pepper. So kind of just like let that simmer. You add a little bit of water because you want to make sure that like it gathers all the flavors. So we let that do its thing there. So as that's cooking, we put that into the blender, add the peanut butter. I don't really use peanut butter, so I just bought 2 packets of like this to-go peanut butter and blended it. In the same bowl, you're gonna put whatever you blended and put some milk into the blender to like wash it so you get all the flavors through. And then you add that bit of milk in there, and then you add some more milk into the substance. Now for the buñuelos, this is for the panela or la miel, if you will. So you add some cloves, cinnamon sticks, the panela itself with water. You want to make sure it's covered up, medium heat. When you wait, it's gonna start boiling. So great, again, you put that wooden spoon so it doesn't overflow, and then once it's like ready and it has that little miel consistency, you can take out the cinnamon sticks, the other little things at the bottom, and we can start working on the buñuelos. So we have eggs, flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, butter. All of that goes into a bowl. So we start with the flour, then we put the baking powder, put a little bit of salt, a bit of sugar, and the egg. We're putting 2 eggs for this one. And now some butter. So the butter actually makes it a little bit softer, so you do want to add a good-ish amount to it. So now with your hands, you just mash that all together. Now when you have this kind of consistency, you're going to need to add milk. So that's where Jake comes into play. So the milk you kind of have to eye. It really depends, but you want to make sure that the mix is watery compared to like empanadas or something. This is going to be something that's not necessarily stuck onto your hand, but you want it more wet than how like empanadas usually are. But now once it's ready, you save a little bit just to make sure you know when the oil's ready. You just put it in, fry it, and you're good to go. We didn't record much of la carne because we were deep in cooking, but these are the appetizers. We made some empanadas and did a charcuterie board. Then the Llapingachos, as you can see, we have the ají, the peanut butter sauce, rice, and put an egg. And yeah, that was dinner, and this is basically for future purposes if we ever want to cook it again.